Welcome back to the Mad Marketing Mums podcast. And for today's Snack Box episode, we are talking about Meta and its new subscription saga. Now, Clem has been diving deep on this and she's actually written an entire blog post on it, which we will link to in the show notes so you can go and have a read up on it. But basically, what's happened is Meta has come out and they've started offering a pay-to-play model, a subscription opportunity for businesses for their Facebook and Instagram products. So, Clem, take us through it. What exactly is the subscription model? Do we want it? Because they did this a little while ago, right?
Yeah. So this is what I like to call, like, we all know that Facebook and Instagram, which is AKA part of the Meta conglomerate, is very much pay to play nowadays, right? So I'm going to say these subscription things is a little bit next level to that. And they have been out for a little while here in Australia and New Zealand. And they are now, as well as Canada, sorry. And now they have rolled this out also to Mexico, Chile, Argentina, Peru, and France.
Right.
Bit of a strange little group of countries, you know. Okay, whatever. It's obviously that they're trying to like test out its uptake and such. But I feel that if they are rolling it out to more countries, it's because there has been maybe some success, and they just want to have more data from other geographic locations at this point.
Yeah. Or there's been no success.
Or there's been no success. Yeah. Because they haven't actually published any data about the uptake of these subscription plans. What are these subscription plans? They are subscription tiers, essentially. Let's call them that. They're, I'm sure that you remember when they started offering the blue tick on Instagram, especially, where creators and businesses could just go and get the blue tick for free. They were offering it, going, hey, just show us your ID, blah, blah, blah. You can get the blue tick. They are now for businesses, as well as for creators who have not signed up for the blue tick, offering subscription tiers that are priced from just a couple of coffees at $10 USD, all the way up to $350 US per month.
Per month?
Per month, per account. So if you have Facebook and an Instagram account for your business and you want to sign up for those accounts, it is, for the highest tier, $350 times 2.
My goodness. Why would you do this though? Because I remember when the opportunity to become verified and get that little blue tick came out, they were making all these promises about how you would actually get support if your account was disabled. There would be customer service, some other bits and pieces. That didn't really happen, did they? From all accounts, I didn't sign up and get the Meta verified because I was like, nah, I'm not wasting my money on that. And I know some people who did, and I've heard stories of people who did, their accounts got disabled and they still received no customer support. So what's the promise this time?
Let's have a look at what these benefits are. I'm going to share my screen and it's going to show you the tiers for each one and we can go through them. So
now, if you are listening just to the podcast audio at home and you want to see this, you can head on over to the Mad Marketing Mums YouTube channel because we will have the video for this episode up there. We have video for pretty much all of our episodes as well. So if you ever just want to see our smiling faces, you can do so. But really handy in situations like this where it's good to look at something on screen. So, okay, I see it now. Thanks, Clem.
Okay. So creators will only be able to sign up for that business standard, but this is what you get. Okay. So you get the verified badge. You get impersonation protection, which they say is they will proactively monitor for any other accounts that try to impersonate you.
Okay.
So that's what I think that question mark says. Yeah. Help protect your brand with proactive impersonation monitoring. You get Meta verified support. So on the standard plan, you get to chat or email with Facebook agents. They don't say people, they say agents.
Agents.
Yeah. You have to look at the words that they use with a microscope because I guarantee you half the time it's a bot.
Yeah.
You get an enhanced profile. which let's have a look at what that means. You can add images to your links. That's it for that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did that look like there was some kind of heading image? Is
Yeah.
that what I'm seeing
so
there?
So I would say that is exactly like Linktree, where you can have the box and it's either got an icon or you can make it enhanced and it becomes an image box that has a little bit of text and you can click it. So they're copying Linktree here.
So
at this
that's
point.
just in the link. That's not actually on the
just in the
profile
link.
itself. Oh,
Nope.
if it was on the profile itself, like that's kind of cool. I would be interested in that. But no, okay.
Yeah.
So fine.
And the next thing, search optimization. Now they released these, they were rolling these out a couple of weeks back. And a week or so before that, Adam Mosseri came out on Instagram, I believe, saying that they are going to be working on SEO to help small businesses and creators. Yeah. I'm fairly certain that he did. And I think you can confirm that that's the case, that they said that, right?
Yeah, they've said a lot of things lately, some of which they have backtracked on. Yeah. But yes, that was one of the promises.
Have a look at what's on the business standard plan. Search optimization, appear at or near the top of search results. So essentially, just like Google Ads.
Yeah.
Okay. That's just for the standard plan. The Business Plus plan gets you all of that stuff plus featured account. So have the opportunity to be featured in the feed and introduce your business to new audiences. So this is what that looks like. If you haven't noticed on your Facebook feed, you might see some of those. That is because they have paid for being a featured account. Then the next thing is you get to put links in your reels. You only get to put it in twice a month.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the Business Plus plan, and it goes all the way up to this 350 USD. Let's see if I can click through. Yeah, there we go. Can you guys, you can see that, I'm sure, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because I can't see your face at all right now at this point.
It's here. It's still here.
Yeah. So with each tier, you get a little bit more support, so you can request a call from an agent when you start paying $120 a month. The enhanced profile, you can share up to 5 business addresses. You get more featured stuff. You get more links. And then with these other ones, you get employee impersonation protection for only 2 of your employees. So what that means is for selected employees, they have the opportunity of having the features of Meta Verified, including a verified badge for their individual accounts. Okay. And then you get customized messaging chats, which I thought this was already kind of the case that you could sort of do in your business account. You could, kind of organize your chats a bit and those profiles of people that do message relatively frequently.
They've changed that because I used to use color coding in mine. I loved that feature and the flagging as well. So I'd know if it was like an existing customer of mine. And then they really restricted it. And so I don't know that you can do it for free now, but it looks like they've added it into this paid option.
For $120 a month, you can organize it by color.
Yes.
Yes. Now, with the $350 per month, you obviously get a little bit more, such as active case monitoring on verified support. Search optimization, up to 5 employees on your impersonation protection, customized messaging chats, as well as an account review. So you get a semi-annual access to a Meta advisor who will provide guidance to improve your content strategy for your subscribed account.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is actually available. So they must have rolled it out to another few countries because there's Italy in here and the US in this mix now. So, which, mind you, the US is probably where they're going to get the most amount of their data because the data laws there are quite loose. And it's also their biggest audience as well. So we'll see maybe if there's a massive uptick then. But this is what you would get for $350 a month from a quote unquote Meta advisor.
So that's going to be what, with the current exchange rate, about $500 Australian a month. For not that much. I honestly give that money to, a content strategist to give you personalized ideas. Yeah. It seems,
Yeah. So what does this mean for a small business? Like, you're going to end up having, now they're not saying like you have to do this in order to be seen, but let's face it, like Meta has been a pay to play platform, but Facebook and Instagram have been like that for years. It's now pay to even remotely be seen, I would say at this point. We already see that there's a lot less traction and reach and such on those platforms as it is. I wouldn't be surprised if it got a little bit worse. Now, I posted about this content on TikTok, and I did get some feedback from a couple of people. And one of them in particular said that they paid for the verification a few months ago, and they have received zero improvement in performance. Right. So they were saying paying has given me nothing, absolutely nothing. Now, I'm kind of anti-Meta already as it is, because of the support they don't necessarily give, but they seem to think that, everybody needs to be on that platform. But the other thing is, well, the customer service that they're claiming there that you will be receiving. Have you ever tried to reach out to Meta and Facebook?
Yes. Well, as you know, my account's been disabled twice. Yeah. And I've had to try and reach out, and you go around in a lot of circles, clicking one link that takes you to another, that takes you to another, and you just can't actually get through to a real person.
Yeah.
I was fortunate the first time it happened. And I've disabled this now, unfortunately. I logged into my ad account on my desktop, and I started a chat through there regarding my Instagram account. And because the two were linked, because I had a business account, I was able to get assistance that way. But they've disabled that chat now, probably because too many people worked that out, right? And because there was a stage where everybody was losing their account for a while there. That seems to at least have calmed down. But yeah, you can't get in touch with anybody. And when they send you a message, it's all encrypted, the email address that it comes from. So you can't go back to them or email them again or share that email address. And I get
there's
why.
There's a reason why.
Right? But yeah.
Yeah. So there's a reason why it's this infinite loop of stuff. It's because there's not an actual customer service department. There is not a physical customer service department. Historically, if you go and look and search around on news about Facebook forming a customer service department, they only started publicizing that they were building one 2 years ago, 18 years after Facebook started. So Facebook has just celebrated their 20-year anniversary last month, and there is still no word about when that customer service department is actually going to exist.
I feel so sorry for the staff working there, because they'll be getting hounded by everyday users who do genuinely need some customer support. And I mean, what business doesn't have customer support? Yeah. That just shocks me so much.
You wouldn't pay for a gym membership if the equipment didn't exist.
Yeah.
So why pay for a membership like this when there is no customer service department?
I mean, unless they're going to build one really, really quickly.
Well, they've just gone through massive layoffs as well in the last 4 or 5 months, and all of a sudden they're going to go and rehire.
Yeah, well, you know why this is happening now, because the US has just passed a bill to cancel TikTok at the start of 2025.
I have a feeling that's going to be a very meaty episode that we're going to do about that. Oh,
yes. Well, and as you know, right, who is in the back pocket of all of the US senators funding all of these campaigns? It is Meta, despite the fact that they have, it's basically projecting, right? Everything that TikTok gets blamed for doing, selling your data, spying on you, rah. These are all things that Meta has already done and we know of. There's probably more that we don't know of, and or they've been convicted for various courts and tribunals. Yeah. So it's, of course they're doing this, because if TikTok does go away, that's a really major marketing platform for so many small businesses. And basically Meta can be a monopoly in this space.
Yeah. So that's the second reason why I would not sign up, is because social media isn't necessarily free. There's no such thing as a free lunch. You might have a free account right now, but you are in fact sharing your data with Facebook so they could give you better ad experiences and blah, blah, blah. But have you ever actually read the terms and conditions that you sign up with and that you agree to when you create your account? That's the world's biggest lie. We don't read those terms and conditions, and they change all the time as well. They evolve over time. So,
and like you pointed out before, they're very clever with the wording.
Yes. So here is the quote this is from Facebook, and then I'll read the Instagram one as well. You grant us non-exclusive, transferable, sub-licensable, royalty-free worldwide license to use any IP content that you post on or in connection with Facebook. So in connection with Facebook, Facebook Messenger, that counts, for example, because that is part of Facebook. WhatsApp is part of the metaverse, correct? That IP license ends when you delete your IP content or your account unless your content has been shared with others and they have not deleted it. Instagrams is when you share, post, or upload content that is covered by blah, 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 blah. Like, this is all on this blog article, and I've highlighted it and everything. So if you want to read it, go ahead. But it's the exact same thing. They have sub-licensable. So they can sub-license your content, anything that you post, to a third party. Now, most recently, there's been in the news that Meta is being sued by someone because they sold for $120 million all of our private messages through Messenger to Netflix.
Yes, I heard about that.
For better ad experiences via Netflix. They are technically, because of this wording, their argument, and then they're in denial that they've done it. But technically, the argument there is, well, the terms and conditions are vague enough that they can, because your private messages, even though you deem them as private, is still content that you've posted on the Facebook Meta universe.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm like, well, you already have the currency that you want, which is my data. Why do you want me to pay you more, or even pay you anyway, to have my stuff be seen? To me, ethically and morally, I'm like, come on, that's a one-sided business relationship. That's not the type of business that I necessarily would want to align with myself. So that's number 2 of why I would go hell no to these subscription plans.
The other thing, so as well as, you are giving them your data, you're giving them your attention in terms of them being able to show you ads, but we are also giving them content to attract people to the platform to watch and spend time on, that they can slot ads into as well. So we're kind of paying in like 3 or 4 different ways here to have the privilege of being part of this platform. So if everybody withdrew their content, they would have no business.
They'd have nothing.
And we won't say that too loudly in case someone starts knocking on our doors and look over your shoulder. Right? Oh, I've got my phone right here. It's probably listening to me and reporting this straight back to Meta.
Yeah, probably. But last but not least as well is like, why would you want to pay for the prestige? We've seen this happen on X, formerly known as Twitter, where they went and said, okay, verification badge, you have to pay $20 a month. And what happened? The sheer number of spam accounts that were able to change their name to a legitimate business and impersonate, as well as get that verification badge, it went through the roof. You couldn't actually believe who was who at that point.
Yeah.
You're paying for a blue tick that now means nothing. There are quite a few influencers, creators, even celebrities that, they've built a really amazing following on their channels. That blue tick was their way of going, this is me. And now it's essentially, well, anybody could go, well, this is me.
Yeah.
You
do have to submit ID and stuff like that. That's
as
fine,
a creator, yes. But as a business, I think you would need just your tax ID and an address.
You might have to show where you know how you register your business and get that certificate. So here in Australia, where you go, what's the company called? I can't remember. You go register a business. Look at me.
Yeah, your ABN.
Good one, Krishla.
Your ABN on, is it ASIC?
And there's also like you register the business name. I think you have to show that certification for a business account.
It's all public information though.
Yeah, true. I mean, look, and there's going to be fraudsters. I mean, the other day I had someone impersonate my Joey Social account. Do you remember that? And they just ripped everything from my account. They popped it up. There were some typos, though, which then obviously couldn't be me because I'm a psycho about these things. But, it's so easy to do. So, yeah, it's...
and I quite honestly, them saying they're proactive impersonation protection.
How?
How? They can't even control the number of spam accounts that are on Facebook and Instagram now. What makes anybody think that they're going to be able to be proactive about it?
We don't even need them to be proactive. We need them to just be reactive when we send through a request or something like, hey, someone's copying me, do something about it. Or, hey, this content's inappropriate, do something about it. That's all anybody's actually asking for. We don't expect them to tell us how to, run our business, what content we should be doing. Yes, that's a nice to have, but we don't actually expect the platforms to do that. But just the basic customer service, yes, that would be lovely. Thank you.
So I think we're seeing a shift where, yes, data is currency, but trust is absolute pure, just platinum. That holds so much more weight nowadays than data. That I honestly think that these subscription plans, how did I put it, it's like getting a ticket to a magic show where the only trick is making your money disappear.
Yes. It's like that Willy Wonka experience that they had in Glasgow.
Exactly.
Right? Those memes. Chef's kiss.
Yeah. Or the Bluey one that happened in the US that made kids cry because some guy was in a onesie suit. That's all it was. This, I don't think, I would honestly steer clear of it, and I would almost try and diversify if you haven't already done so, in terms of your social media mix. Like if you're a B2B, LinkedIn is your playground more than the Facebook could ever be. Instagram, there's TikTok. I mean, I'm team TikTok at this point. TikTok Notes is coming out too. That's in beta and that's slowly spreading as well. They're testing that out too. There's a bunch of other channels that we could be using versus paying to even have your icon appear in a feature that is just embedded with a bunch of mess around it, that it's not going to have any focus. It's
YouTube, of course, huge. And the best part about YouTube, of course, likewise with Pinterest, is these are search engines. And so you can have content from months, years ago that is still performing and serving your audience. And of course, your own platforms like start a podcast, your website, your email list, blogs, all of that stuff as well. I think it's really important to, like you said, to diversify and make sure that you've got some backups for when these platform changes happen and they're not necessarily in our favor.
Exactly.
Oh, well, anyway, thank you for that huge breakdown, Clem. I have learned a lot from this. I hope if you're listening at home, you have learned a lot. Of course, you make your own decisions and what's right for you and your business. I think from this episode it's pretty clear what we think of the meta verification, but you never know, like they may live up to their promises, and if they do, well, that could be really great for businesses. But
maybe if Mark Zuckerberg gets Mark Zuckerberg gets a new therapist and he becomes like an actual decent human being, maybe. But
Zuckerberg,
I would say something else that rhymes with Zuck, but I won't go there.
This is a family-friendly show. All right. Well, thank you for tuning in. As always, if you enjoyed this episode, please like and comment, share and save our social media posts regarding it. Please, please, please leave a review or hit that share button. Share this podcast with your friends, with your family, with your biz buddies, whoever's going to have an interest in marketing, and we'll see you next time. Take care and stay mad.
Bye-bye.